We're going to learn how to intensify elements and the weather inside Premiere Pro. So let's get started. I have some videos right here and some overlays. Overlays are things that you would put over your layers, hence the name. And by changing the blending mode, you can make it look like it's part of your original clip and add really small details. So this is an example of an overlay. We get these really fine snow details on top of a black background. So when you see videos like these are meant to go on top of your stock footage or your own footage. And by changing the blending mode, we can just make it look like it's a part of our video. Let's see how that works with our first example. So I have a video right here of this snow landscape. There are some snow in there, but it's just not as much as I'd like it to be. So what we're going to do is to add that overlay and make the weather look really extreme. Let's make a sequence right here and place the overlay right above. Now, the problem with overlays is that usually they are really short, but if you get like a loop version, then I can simply duplicate it, hold down Option or Alt, place it right next to it, and we're just going to get a loop even after the video finishes. So let me zoom in right here. Notice how there isn't like a jump. That's because this video is a loop. So next time you're looking for an overlay on YouTube or any other platform, make sure that you are getting a loop and not a regular overlay. All right, so we didn't need to duplicate this because our video is not going to be that long. I just want to show you guys the effect. So let's delete the extra bits right here. Now by simply going into Effect Controls, changing the blending mode to screen, I can just isolate those finer details and give my video some snow. But it shouldn't stop here because the camera is focused on the trees and we just applied something sharp on top of that. So if your camera is focused on the trees, it cannot be focused on the falling snow because it's either really close to the camera or just further away. So we need to make this look natural by blurring the overlay. Go into the Effect Control and look for the Fast Blur. Add it right above your overlay and increase the blur amount. So it should look really blurry, and that is the whole point. So I think we can go for like 7. Let's take a look. Make your preview panel full screen and examine whether or not you need to make this more blurry. All right, let's go back. And to make it less vivid, we're going to remove from the opacity. So it shouldn't be as bright as you see it right here. And we just want to make it look really subtle. Because overlays are just an aid and not exactly something to replace the snow with. All right, so once I have this, I have to now pay attention to the movement of my camera. I'm just going to add a simple scale animation. Let's grab like this much of our video. Go into the overlay, make a keyframe for 100%, pull it back, and just extend the amount. So now we have a zoom in effect on the video. All right, let's move on to our next example where we can add rain onto a video. Now we do have a problem right here with our overlay. If I just remove this, you can see that the overlay is quite stable throughout the whole thing. So if your camera movement is going inwards, like this one, you want to make sure that the overlay has the same exact movement. This is okay, but it looks a little artificial, so if we had the right camera movement, it would look better. The technique would be the same, it's just a different overlay video. Now let's see how this would look like with the correct type of overlay and the correct type of video. Let's make a sequence from this video, which is a tripod shot of the Eiffel Tower at night. Get rid of the audio and I have this rain overlay. Now our video is pretty high quality, so let's scale this up. And notice how the rain here is really faint. That's actually good because it's more realistic. Like we said, the camera is focused on the subject and not exactly on the shape of the rain. So when the raindrops are blurred out in the camera, they're going to appear less vivid and look like these faint lines coming from the sky. Let's change the blending mode to overlay, and already we have a pretty good effect. Like we said, we can just lower the opacity to get something a little bit more faint. Add the fast blur effect to just make it perfect. So we want something really subtle, like let's try 4. Like 4. It's going to blur it out a tiny bit and make this look even better. So now I got myself the Eiffel Tower under the rain. Alright, let's take a look at our third instance where we have an element in our video that we'd like to intensify. Let's close this off and make a new sequence. So here our subject has a lamp and they're just going away. We're just going to make the light more intense towards the camera. So the light is giving out a flare and it's extending past the subject's body. So begin by making a new color matte. Then we can choose the color here. You can go for like the orange, the bright yellow, it's up to you. I will go with this yellow whitish color. Hit OK, let's call it light. And then hit OK. Bring this right above, extend it to your video's length. I'm just going to cut my video so the track time can be reduced. Let's go for 5 seconds. And now we're going to go into the light, grab the ellipse mask, and just position this on your lamp. Next, using a lot of feather and mask expansion, we're going to match the amount to the lamp. So first, I'm just going to use mask expansion to get a soft light like this, then use feather. Alright, so you should have something like this. Then we can simply change the blending mode of our layer into linear dodge. There's my light. So once you have this, you can go back to your mask settings and change the way it looks. So you can go for something subtle or something really extreme, which wouldn't really make sense. So I will stick with like -203. And now you just need to keyframe the position. So let's track it going forward. And now we have all of these keyframes. The best way to track anything is to just go into After Effects and get it done there. So I'm going to hit Command C, go back, and just moving forward, grab my mask, change the position, play it back, and make sure that the light follows your lamp as we move forward. Once we have this, we got like an intensified light effect that can help with your videos. Experiment with the different blending modes and see which one looks best. I'm going to go with lighten, double click to get a different color. Then I'll grab like a bright orange instead, so it looks more natural. Let's go with linear light. So all of these settings can be changed moving forward. It's a really simple addition that you can do to make the elements in your videos look more powerful. You can also experiment with the opacity slider and get a subtle effect. And there we go. So now I have added this ring around my subject using one color matte. So I hope you guys enjoyed this fast and quick lesson. Let's move on to the next video.